Alright, just a quick video before I get started. Another piece of classic car glass. This piece of glass is extremely difficult to find. You'll see it here on the table. 69 Super B original glass. Got the original factory etchings. And as usual with classic car glass with irreplaceable glass, this is very stressful to do. I have to keep my temperatures way down. I have to be so gentle. It's absolutely ridiculous, but I have to. Because if I have a failure, customers won't accept that, any excuse for an answer. Even though it is glass. Glass breaks. Glass has flaws, and that's part of the business, part I don't like. I do everything I can to keep it perfect. Alright, I'm just getting started on it. And you can see there are scratches all over this thing. When you put a black background behind them, it really lights them up because the scratches show as white when they refract the light. But everywhere you see a circle in the ink, there's scratches. And this is a big curve out right here. That's concave, this is convex. Convex very easy, concave very hard. Stress. That's all I can tell you about these pieces of glass like this. They're stressful. And that's what I get paid to do. Well, I'm about 50% through phase one on half of this piece of glass. You can see the other side doesn't have as many scratches, but it's got several. The big ones are smaller. The small ones are gone. I still have to come over here, do a bunch of scratches here and here. Again, concave, convex, concave again. This is really an amazing piece of glass, and it's what made this 69 Super B such a sexy car. So that it had curves and straights in all the right places. Of course, I taped over the badging. I don't even want to get into that. That's got the original factory etching right underneath there, and we're going to try to retain all that. And I'm not going to concern myself with getting down lower than that line right there, which is where the seal is on the glass. This part's all buried, and if you develop too much heat in the edge, this piece of glass will break. Ask me how I know that. It was a very labor-intensive 11-hour job that I did on a Porsche piece of glass, and the owner was so particular that the tiniest little scratch that was near the edge, he wanted me to get out. I foolishly obliged him on that, and I broke the piece of glass. I would have rather kept that little scratch that nobody would notice and hand it back to him in a beautiful condition, aside from one tiny little scratch. What's the difference between concave and convex surfaces? Well, every tool that's made to do this kind of work is flat. It's really designed for flat surfaces. So you can ride across a convex surface. Convex is coming out. Concave, your cave goes in, right? You go into a cave. Well, that's what these concave surfaces do. And so this wants to skip a big portion. So how do we do that? We have to tip the gun a little bit, but you gotta really feel it. You can't stay on there, because when you tip the gun, it wants to dig, and you can't dig or you'll create huge waves of distortion. And so it's just extremely tricky. And there's no guarantee that it's going to be 100% right 100% of the time, because the depth of the scratch determines how long you have to stay in there. Again, sometimes it's better to leave the scratch. Micrometer is showing that this is 1.5 thousandths of an inch deep on that scratch, which is pretty deep for a curved surface. So I'm not excited about this. I'm going to have to take it really gentle. There might be a couple of very minor things that I'd rather leave a scratch than leave it distort. So we'll take it from there. Well, it's ready to polish now. It's got a couple little scratches left down in here in the cave, in the concave portion. They're too deep to chase after. Some that are too deep to get into here at the corner. And of course right at the bead line, these are very deep. I mean, incredibly deep. I would never try to get those up. Other than that, it's pretty stellar. Another little one right in the concave. So, for another one there. They're small now. They're not huge scratches everywhere. So for a 1969 piece of glass, original piece of glass. This one is looking really nice. You won't find one that's been on the road that's going to have glass in better shape than this.